Good morning, students. Today we are going to start up with a new chapter, that is combustion and fossil fuel. In the last chapter, we have studied about the crop and the agriculture practices. In this chapter, we are going to study about the combustion, its type, and the fossil fuels, and also its types. Now, before starting with the topic, we should discuss something about the domestic and industrial consumption of the fossil fuels. People generally use wood, cow dung cakes, crop residues, kerosene oil, or LPG to cook food. For running vehicles, we use petrol or diesel oil. In factories, we use coal, fuel oil, or natural gases, which is you which is all about the domestic and the industrial consumptions. Some of the fuels like LPG and kerosene, etc., burns with a flame, giving off heat and light, while others like coal and charcoal just glow without producing any flame. Why do these substances behave differently? Have you ever thought about it? Let us discuss about the combustible substance, their behavior in this chapter. Now here the topic is what is combustion? Burning of substance is actually a chemical substance. When a substance burns in air, a chemical combination takes place. The process in which a substance combines chemically with oxygen to produce heat and light is called combustion. Or we can say that combustion is defined as a chemical change in which both heat and light are produced at the same time in the presence of oxygen, and the composition of substance is also changed. For example, burning of coal, paper, candle, etc. To the next one, that is the types of substances. There are basically two types of substances, that is combustible substance and non-combustible substance. Combustible substances are those which easily catch fire, for example kerosene and petrol. Non-combustible substances are those that do not catch fire easily, for example glass and stone. Now coming to the next topic, that is types of combustion. Combustion of substances takes place under different conditions. Depending on the rate at which the combustion takes place, it has been classified into 5 types, that is rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion, complete combustion, incomplete combustion, and explosion. Now here you are going to study all these types in detail. Rapid combustion is a type of combustion of a substance in which large amount of heat and light are released in a very short period of time. For example, burning of coal, wood, candle, LPGs, and so on. Spontaneous combustion is a type of a combustion in which the substance burns into the flames without the application of heat. For example, burning of phosphorus, which is used in the making of matchstick. Complete combustion. This type of combustion that takes place in a sufficient amount of oxygen, that is air. The products obtained during complete combustion are water, carbon dioxide, heat and light. Whereas incomplete combustion, that is the fourth type, the type of combustion that takes place in an insufficient amount of oxygen or air is known as incomplete combustion. The products obtained during incomplete combustion are soot particles, that is what the minute particles of carbon, water, carbon monoxide, heat and light. The last type of combustion is explosion. It is a type of combustion where huge quantity of heat and light and sound are produced with the evolution of a large amount of gases in a very short period of time. For example, the bursting of firecrackers or any explosion caused in the coal mines due to the rapid combustion of the gases. Now the next one is condition necessary for combustion. Basically there are three conditions which are necessary for combustion are the first one, that is presence of combustible substance. Second one, presence of supporter of combustion, that is what? Oxygen. And the last one is attainment of ignition temperature. The first one, we are going to describe each one. That is the first one, combustion takes place only if a combustible substance is present. For example, wood, paper and kerosene. The second one, that is the presence of supporter of combustion, that is oxygen. Because oxygen is the only gas that supports combustion. The last one is attainment of the ignition temperature. As all the combustible substance starts burning when they reach or gets heated up to a particular temperature. So this particular temperature is termed as ignition temperature, or in the scientific manner we can say that the lowest or the minimum temperature at which the combustible substance starts burning in the presence of air, that is what? Oxygen, is known as ignition temperature. For example, we have discussed right now that which will catch fire early, a paper or a wood. You all have replied that the paper. So that means the paper is having the lowest ignition temperature than the wood. So the ignition temperature of the white phosphorus is 30 to 35 degrees Celsius and that of wood is 250 to 300 degrees Celsius. The next topic is inflammable substances. They are the substances that have a very low ignition temperature and can catch fire easily. For example, alcohol, kerosene, LPG, nylon fibers and etc. Now the last topic for today is extinguishing fire. That means how to control fire. When a building is on fire, firemen direct a jet of water on the building. So water along with its vapor helps to cut off the supply of oxygen and also bring down the temperature of the combustible substance. As you all know that water is having the lowest ignition temperature. Now the principle of extinguishing fire involves the removal of the condition which support combustion. There are basically three conditions which are necessary for combustion. So if we are removing any one of them, it will help in extinguishing fire. That means removal of all combustible substances, or the second one, cutting off the supply of air, that is what? Oxygen, and cooling the combustible substance below their ignition temperature. Since it is usually not possible to remove all the combustible substance during a fire, the other two conditions are taken into consideration. That means we can cut off the supply of oxygen, and the second one is cooling the combustible substance below their ignition temperatures. So fire extinguishers also works on the same principle. For example, when a person's clothes have caught fire, a blanket is wrapped around his body. Why? To cut off the supply of air, that is oxygen. The second one, the most common substance used to extinguish fire is water. You all have seen, but it is not used to put off fires in electric wiring. Why? Because water conducts electricity. So water also cannot be used for fires involving oil or petrol, because water being heavier sinks down and oil keeps burning on top. When substances like wood, paper or other synthetic fabrics catch fire, water is used to extinguish the fire. Electrical and oil fires are extinguished by directing a jet of CO2 stored as a liquid in the cylinders under high pressure. You have seen in the school there is a red tube like tube cylinders are there in on your floor. That is what? Carbon dioxide extinguishers. Now the next type is soda acid extinguisher, or we can call it as foam type fire extinguisher. They are generally used to put out fires caused by burning of oil or petrol. They release water along with carbon dioxide gas and thus are not preferred for extinguishing electrical fires because they are releasing out water, and as you know that water is a good conductor of electricity. If you have any query regarding any topic, you may ask. Thank you and have a good day ahead.